The HyNet project is a massive project that claims to decarbonise northwest industrial base, which is all around us here. It claims this. It involves making blue hydrogen from fossil fuel gas, and it involves capturing the carbon, not only from that process, the carbon dioxide produced from the blue hydrogen process, but also from other industries around the area.
The HyNet proposal is for a pipe capturing carbon, CO2, from Stanlow, which will then travel through Flintshire in North Wales. There'll be a new 31-kilometre pipe that will be laid. It will then connect to an existing pipe in Flint, where it will then travel 21 kilometres, taking the CO2 offshore to Talacra. Now, CO2 is relatively unknown in its form. When planning permission was sought, the Health and Safety Executive raised an issue. It said the Health and Safety Executive states that currently the behaviour of CO2, when released in its dense and supercritical phases, is not yet fully understood, and that detailed standards and codes of practice written specifically for the design and operation of dense phase or supercritical CO2 plant and pipelines are still being developed. So I heard of this when I was first a councillor, and I was concerned about this pipe going through communities.
We're here in Thornton-le-Moors, a 1,000-year-old English village, and less than 100 years ago they started building Stanlow Oil Refinery behind us here, which totally changed the character of the area. We have emissions from there, and what the industry is trying to claim is that they can reduce those emissions by moving to what they call blue hydrogen. That's turning natural gas into hydrogen, which has a byproduct of massive amounts of CO2, and they want to capture that and pump it under Liverpool Bay. The technology isn't proven in terms of the amounts that they are able to capture, any escaping emissions and that, so it's quite controversial, and we're not at all convinced it will do anything to reduce our carbon footprint.
Well, initially, £22 billion was set aside by a previous government for carbon capture storage. So they've been approached by the businesses. So this is helping INEOS, SR at Stanlow, Eni, who will be profiting from storing the CO2 offshore in their depleted gas fields at Talacra. Okay. But it's 22 billion over 25 years. 87 million has been allocated to the HyNet project. Okay. There are other projects of CO2 where they are looking to capture and then just store it directly underground where it is. But this one, building a pipeline. And at Stanlow, the oil and gas companies, they originally drove this, creating blue-grey hydrogen and capturing the CO2. And then the blue-grey hydrogen would be used then for energy, for industrial and domestic. But the villagers who were supposed to have the domestic energy installed by Cadnant have not wanted it to happen. There have big concerns because blue hydrogen is more calorific than gas, and there's concerns about using it for domestic energy.
So the hydrogen village, we can laugh about it now, but when it started, it was a really, really difficult time for a lot of people here. It came out of the blue to us with very little public information, trusted information as well, I would add. So there was a plan, a proposal to convert 2,000 homes, mine being one of the impacted homes, to be converted from natural gas to hydrogen. And on the face of it, naively, you know, when it first started, it was very much sold as this is the move away from fossil fuels, this is the energy transition, you are helping to be part of a greener future. So the community was really interested and engaged with the proposal. However, during the time, I think probably about 6 months to 8 months into the proposal, people started to ask questions. And then when the questions weren't being answered, it threw up a lot of red flags for a lot of people. So we were being put into a position where you have been chosen, you will either move to what we tell you to move or we cut off your gas. After about a year and a half, we successfully pushed back and challenged until the UK government decided that there was no appetite here.
What we have in the UK is a record again of failure of carbon capture projects like Peterhead in the UK. And what we have now is we have two big clusters. We have the HyNet project in the northwest, and then the East Coast cluster over on Teesside. And for HyNet, which Eni is involved in, and one of the major companies, they are pushing to get this project over the line. They're talking about putting in 20 billion into these projects, and there is no guarantee it will work. And there's also blue hydrogen involved in the project, which is dangerous. Transporting hydrogen is dangerous. Transporting CO2 and injecting it into the underground in Liverpool Bay is dangerous as well. So again, the money would be much better spent, putting into clean renewables like solar and wind.
So this is the point of air terminal. It is the end of the land-based pipeline that will bring the carbon dioxide out from Stanlow, from the oil refinery. It's operated by Eni, the HyNet partner who is responsible for the pipeline, all the pipeline, onshore and offshore carbon dioxide pipeline, and is responsible for the storage in Liverpool Bay.
For us, the proposals are to store the carbon in these depleted gas fields under the Liverpool Bay. And again, it is really playing on the human nature of out of sight, out of mind. And if we can put it there, it's gone. The companies that are driving these proposals, at the end of the day, they know exactly what they're doing. They have got enough money to pay for promotion and greenwashing and to make everyone feel better, to say you don't need to look here, we've got it all under control, it's okay. And I've raised concerns against the planning permission, so I have logged my concerns around, well, who is monitoring that carbon? How long for? How long does that cost?
We're considering the possibility of a judicial review into the decision that gave permission for the offshore pipeline to go ahead.
So they want us to give them money for their existing infrastructure, and then they want to try and pump the carbon dioxide underground. Eni has only said it will monitor whether there are any leaks for 20 years in Liverpool Bay, whereas carbon dioxide could leak for hundreds if not thousands of years.
This hydrogen CCS, it does one of a few things. So first of all, it softens the blow for the fuel industry, right? They can carry on burning fossil fuels, but under the guise of it's green. So they get to keep doing what they've always done, which is burn, okay? So that keeps them in money, their shareholders happy, but it placates enough people in the public, in government, to say, but it's green, it's okay, it's green, because we've said it's green. And then the other reason I think that this causes a barrier for a true renewable energy transition.